Have you ever felt stuck? Or have you ever been put in a situation where you can't find the solution? Well, 2 years ago at my dance studio, that was me. As my teacher yelled out the same feedback from a few weeks ago, I had the sudden realization that I stopped improving. I took my first dance class when I was 5, but my mom told me that I started dancing in her tummy before I was born. I started off with ballet, added Chinese dance 4 years later. Then, at the age of 12, I was introduced to contemporary and hip-hop. And it was so much fun. Each experience helped me to grow in a different direction, and every bit of growth pushed me to pursue my passion to the next level. Which is why, when I realized I stopped improving, I kind of panicked. I wanted to prove myself wrong, and it just so happened that there was a tryout for my school's dance team. I walked into the audition and failed it. I was off-tempo. I couldn't keep up. I lacked facial expressions, and I had no control over my arms. I looked like one of those inflatable tube men that you see at car dealerships. So yeah, I definitely stopped improving. The result was that my passion lessened, and I lost motivation to dance. I even ended up quitting my dance studio. But I still took dance class at school, only because my friend was taking it as well. So at the start of a new term, I walked into my school's dance class with a bit of concern and uneasiness, especially when I saw a new teacher. Hello, everyone. My name is Miss Larissa, and I'll be substituting for your dance teacher this semester. After she briefly introduced herself, she said, "Your first assignment will be self-choreography. You may do this in a solo, a duo, or in a group." What? Are you kidding? The first thing you want us to do is make self-choreography? That's insane. That's like telling a 5-year-old to do algebra without learning basic math. Turns out, there was a reason behind this sudden challenge. Miss Larissa wasn't even a dance teacher. She taught photography. She even asked my friend Arissa and I to lead the warm-ups. She was looking for as much help as possible. One day, after leading the warm-ups, Miss Larissa asked Arissa and I to stay after class. We have a Remembrance Day assembly coming up, and it would be wonderful if you two could create a piece for the assembly. Didn't want to do that? No. Have you ever taught a dance? No. Have you ever created a full dance? No. Okay, great. How am I supposed to do this? But I feel bad. Arissa wants to do it, and Miss Larissa kind of needs me to do it. Okay, fine, I'll do it. But let me just tell you something about teaching. Number 1, tiring. Number 2, nerve-wracking. And number 3, frustrating. I watched dozens of YouTube videos on dance choreographies. I would stay after school to plan for the next class, and I spent extra time with those who needed that extra help. It wasn't easy. In fact, I never realized how hard it was to be a teacher. Being a student is way easier. The most challenging part of teaching for me was being clear. I remember when I first taught the dance that Arissa and I made, I said, "Put your arms straight up," which I assumed was a straightforward process. Instead, I got arms stuck out and all. different directions. Some arms were bent like this. Some arms were facing the back. And some arms were even at a 45-degree angle. What? What happened to just putting your arms straight up like this? I looked in the mirror and saw that, oh, my arm wasn't straight either. I guess I have to be more clear. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, everyone, here's the first move. Put your arm high up like this. Make sure it's straight and stick it beside your ear. And they got it right away. We reviewed the dance a few more times, and they got it every single time because I was improving at both showing and explaining the dance. But providing concrete details only covered one requirement for teaching. There were so many more that I hadn't discovered. For example, I needed to keep them engaged so they would pay attention, and I had to encourage them as much as possible so they would have the confidence to step outside their comfort zone. Over the span of 3 months, I learned to be more aware of everything, whether it was the movements, the facial expressions, or even the psychology of music. Everything felt clear to me because I had been growing. 2 weeks later, when I walked into my dance audition, I found out I made it to the dance team. Woo! I did it! That feeling of growth is what gave me motivation to dance. And teaching was the thing that got me growing again. Before teaching, it took me weeks, even months to choreograph a dance. I couldn't learn an entire dance routine by the end of class, and I couldn't effectively analyze dances at all. But after teaching, I could choreograph a dance within days. I could learn an entire dance routine with time to spare, and I could analyze the little details of the dances to the point where I could notice other people's mistakes and even my own. It truly amazed me that teaching could help me improve this much. If I hadn't said yes to teaching, I'd probably still be stuck. Maybe I would have quit dancing, or maybe I would have continued dancing. But knowing that I wouldn't be growing wouldn't have allowed me to enjoy dance as much as I do now. In fact, now that I know how powerful an improvement tool teaching is, I use it whenever I can. Just recently, I started to teach my friend how to draw so I could improve my own learning process. In other words, teach. If you're pursuing a passion, or you just want to become better at something, but are starting to struggle, take the opportunity to spread what you know. You'll be surprised by how much you'll grow in the process. Teaching is a powerful tool in learning, and I encourage all of you to use it.